If you click on this video, I bet you're wondering, is it possible to reach the Citadel without moving? Well, in today's video we're going to find out the answer to that question. Starting off with what we cannot do. The rules of this challenge are as follows. Rule number 1, no analog stick allowed. More details on that after the next rule. Rule number 2, the D-pad is not allowed. Well, kind of. You see, only open the D-pad and down the D-pad are allowed, so that we can rest the benches to refill the health bar. This also means that we can do the pogo if needed. We can use all the tools and other movements in the game, such as the cloak, the dash, and the double jump. If at some point we cannot get to a certain part of the map, we can continue and essentially do a minimalist run, see how many times we need to use the analog stick to reach the peak of the Citadel. But while on this minimalist run, we can only use the analog stick 3 times, and if we go over this limit, then we have failed the challenge and the video will end. We can use the analog stick to look around the map, of course. And by the way, if you want to try any part of this video yourself, go ahead, especially the parts that I failed to do. If you liked this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. And now without further ado, let's get straight into it. Starting off with Moss Grove. Jump dash left, head to the next section. Here, I kill our first enemy, but get hit the other way by it.
Are you serious right now, bro?
So I jump off this wall to turn back on path. Jump dash across the river, and after a few minutes of trying to get past this part, we build up this routine, which is pretty easy. Take a look. Now, in this area, I double jump up here and demolish all this parkour. Like, I'm a spider after all. Come on. And now this is where I have to hustle a bit, but a rather simple looking jump. As since I can't turn around here, I'm forced to follow the path straight until I can turn around, which after a few minutes, I found out I could do after using the silk to open the Weaver's outlet door and using the teleporter downwards and then changing direction off a nearby wall. We can go back up the teleporter and use our silk to reopen this door, jump back up here and... oh my days, I have to do all that over again, don't I? So I go back and use the teleporter, wall turn, teleporter, door. I get back to this area and oh my, oh wait. Oh, okay, let's go. Now I've made this jump and head to my first checkpoint. After saving, I turn off this wall, turn off this wall and descend upwards. Since I'm faced this way, I have no choice but to go all the way down to the left, hit a wall turn and head back. Bro, are you serious? So I redo all that and head to the right this time, into the bone bottom, where I take a quick look at the map, try to take the upper route. Wall turn, and yeah. I soon realized that this is not possible in the circumstances of this challenge, so I dropped back down and rested at the bench. At this bench, I changed that gear to stuff I really thought would benefit us for this challenge. Number 1 is the Warden Bell, to protect us while we heal ourselves, which I thought would be a big help in this challenge. Number 2 being the Cogfly, because we won't be able to change the direction to hit enemies behind us. So our little friend can do that for us. Isn't that right? And last but not least, at number 3, there's a Sharp Dart, which will shoot us a direction and deal damage, which is basically going to be our second dash. After I scanned the map to analyze the route, this is what I came up with. First to travel down along the mile and take the first top exit. Why didn't I go straight? I don't have a single flipping clue, but once we're here, we take a left, go through the bell tunnel, rest at this bench and then carry on straight ahead. Take either path here, but to not go down to the Hunter's March by any means necessary. That was already enough of a problem with being able to move. Head downwards here and save the game again. Drop down into the fiery pits of the marrow, and then climb our way up to this bench where we'll rest again. That is the plan, for now anyways. We enter the marrow. I parkour here, turn around, jump off this wall, and fight this enemy. Jump into the top half of the marrow, take another quick scan on the map, and then I continue on straight. Wait, how am I over here? Clearly I haven't followed the plan of the map, but anyways, quick turn here, and the run back was easy. So now we're here, a few deaths later, and oh my goodness, does this part stress me. Down here I was left to fend for myself, and just about snuck my way out without dying. Even just talking about this now is making me sweat. This is our location on the map now. I head downwards, slickly dodge this enemy, enter here until I save the game for a third time. Dropping down and taking the lower part of the marrow at this point, though I took a bit of damage, but made my way through here. Taking this escalator, turning, and taking this escalator. I saved the game for a fourth time and headed on, killing this dude off with some tussling. And this whole section was pretty much bread and butter up to this point on the map, where the difficulty got really ramped up. I ate there here, but dropped down and went into the next room. A quick scan on the map lets me know that I effed up. Immediately after closing the map, I got chased down and was running and dodging all these attacks. I eventually ended up in what we'll call the wind elevator. I saved to the side and started going up, and this section posed a bit of a challenge with me. I had to keep going up and down, up and down, up and down, just so I could reposition myself after messing up. But slowly and slowly progress was being made, and I was hitting these tight jumps across, and only ended up taking me a few minutes surprisingly, with me entering into where Act 2 would usually start. Since I was facing right here, I had no choice but to go and save the game here again. Now I paused here once again to map out the most efficient route that we can take in order to reach the peak of the Citadel and comply with the rules of our challenge at the same time. And this is what I came up with. Yeah, it's nothing. I mean, that's what you're looking at. You probably thought it was a YouTube glitch, didn't you? Anyways, getting back on track, every route was looking impossible to do without the analog stick. But I didn't want to give up the challenge that easily and quickly. I mean, like, you guys only have a 5-minute video if I did, so I gave the different routes a go nonetheless. The goal of these two routes that I tried was to try and make up to the exhaust organ elevator to bring me up to the whispering vaults. So we started off with route 1, which is the Grimoire route. I left the bench and failed. So I looped around again and made the jump to then see that I was unable to make the next jump. That's route 1 deemed impossible. By the way, if you guys want to try and complete this by yourselves, then go ahead and let me know down in the comments how you got on. I looked at the map again and saw a multitude of more paths, and I was quick to shut down the wisp ticket path because it would involve loads of left to right parkouring and pogoing. The blasted steps wasn't a viable option in my head either, because that would involve loads of analog stick and even more analog stick to traverse the area here. But now heading on to route 2 would be us travelling left along the ground of Grimoire, trying to evade a few enemies placed in our path, killing one and successfully making it to the halfway home, officially marking our challenge half done. And of course this is the path that I chose. So here now I travelled up the gated elevator and I was looking left. Great. And I couldn't turn around on this wall, so I was forced to run the full way down, turn off this wall and run the whole way back with an enemy that damaged me in the way. I then smoothly parkoured my way past this part to my surprise if I'm being honest, and up here I couldn't turn, so I killed this enemy and did a swift check with my map. I then foolishly attempted to go to the wisp ticket, and yes, I fell. So I rested in the halfway home again, and oops. Oh man. I then travelled up the elevator again, and right back to this area to where... Yes guys, this is that moment of the video that may have been foreshadowed in the intro. This is where I used the analog stick for the first time. But look, I'm sorry, okay? Just bear with me while that now has one analog stick used to the counter for me. Hey, you can see it in the top right though. But this also means that in this challenge I got up to this point in the map, which is further than I initially thought I could get, which isn't too bad. But from here on out it becomes a minimalist run. So, hooray. Continuing on with the journey though, I now turned around successfully and had to get up this wall. Not hard, right? Well, this took me about 2 minutes because I never realized up to this point of the challenge that after you first cling to the wall, which you can do by just jumping and dashing into the wall, the next wall you go to cling to, if it's too far away then you'll not cling to it, unless you push the analog stick into the same direction. You staying with me? Of course I'm not going to use the analog stick here. So here I had to smartly place my jump on the left wall, and jump up, then smoothly dash into the little passage to the right. Turn off this little wall, perfectly place and time my jump off this wall to the left again, then double jump up and dash at the right time and height onto this ledge, which I successfully pulled off. Flawless if I do say so myself. Now opening the map, I revealed to myself that I'm at the beginning of Sinner's Road. Oh man. I have this part memorized though from dying here many times in my first ever playthrough the game, which believe it or not, I'm actually still on. In this next room I displayed my pro parkour skills up to this point here where I make this very tight jump. This enemy almost killed me, and if I died here, I would have had to use the analog stick again to get back to this point. I don't want to think of it. I work my way up here and enter this room to where I just hope that I can make this jump with a sprint and dash And yes, I do. I rested this bench and let's take a little deep bunk, shall we? Now so far, this is the progress that we have made since coming to Greymore. And I'm highlighting the path to use right now that I took, so feel free to try yourselves and tell me how it goes down below in the comments. I hope you're all having a really good day and enjoy your Halloween. Perfect. Make sure to stay safe. Now from here, the plan is to go out and up, take a left, then avoid this clearly dangerous pit and climb my way up here, and avoid this other dangerous pit and rest. Perfect. Shouldn't be too hard, right? Well, let's find out. I left the bench and redone the jump successfully to the other side. Now this took a few minutes here, but after a precise angle on the wall, I went in a roll and got into the next room, turned off this wall and came back. After a few minutes later trying to line this up and taking the jump, I thought I was going to have to use another one of my analog stick uses here. But just as I was going to give up again, I did it. And the next platform here you may think is impossible without the analog stick, but actually is really doable. I make sure to take the right side one and face off to the left here, so when I got out I was facing the right way, no pun intended, and I got absolutely butchered in the mug maggot infested waters. And this is a sticky situation here with this guy. But after a few hits I got my direction changed and had to use another analog stick here to avoid that. And now this parkour section I tried 3 times to poke with this, but all 3 times I somehow died. Me now being on one analog stick use left, I decided to just start over where I died, as I had the feeling the challenge was going to come to a quick end soon. And oh, was I right. I could not go across here to the right because it was littered in spikes.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Officially bringing the challenge and the video to an end. I apologize for this being a lousy way for me to go out and for such a promising challenge to end, but nonetheless, the princess defeated this challenge. Maybe in the future, if you guys want to see me, I will come back, do this and give it 100% and make sure I defeat it. This is how far we got on the map during this challenge. I encourage you guys to try this and tell me down below how you get on. If you also want to see if the Sonic Unleashed daytime stages are possible without moving, then click the link in the top right to watch it. And without further ado, thank you all for watching, may God bless you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.